Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. We are once again live down here in the Bear Cave Studios for another episode of The Frenzy. With me, your host, Freddie Oso, with my co-host, Joey the Eagle. What's going on, Joe?
You know how it is, man. Chilling, enjoying this NCAA March Madness. Got the TV, got the laptop running, got, the tablet in the back. All systems go.
Nice, man. We got a huge tournament going on right now. We are also basically a week out, bro. Big news. Week out of 1 year of the podcast.
Really? Okay, you hit me with a curveball there. I was waiting. You had me in suspense. Nah, man, it's cool. It's been cool, man. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully we can just keep building, doing what we're doing, and have fun doing it. Right? That's why we do it in the first place.
Yeah, man. This is our first live episode going up on YouTube.
Be honest with the people.
It's not
we
live.
Did.
Yeah.
No, not even the live part. We tried. We did try to do this earlier. But the IT guy, Fred, a.k.a. you, got the double. What you have, the double audio going?
We had the double audio the first drive run we did a few weeks back.
Listen, all I'm saying is I'm glad that we ran that little test run before the draft, because for those of you who don't know, we are going to be doing the draft live. I will be in the Bear Studios. That way you don't see, my ugly-ass closet in the background.
You love the background back there.
Yeah. So it's going to be official, man. Hopefully we can run it. I don't know what you were thinking. Maybe we could run like a live on Twitch for the first night. And then I'll leave the editing up to you. We'll get it all on tape, chop it up, and then we can put something up on YouTube that's like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of just like funny stuff that happens, our live reactions to the picks. I think will be kind of cool. We always have fun doing it, so.
Yeah, man. That'll be our second year, the second annual Sports Frenzy draft episode. So stay tuned for that.
Listen, last year we had no heat. You know what I'm saying? The Bear Den was incomplete. We were struggling last year. I think I'm still suffering from frostbite.
Yeah, that's man, it was crazy.
If you notice, like 15 picks in, like my energy starts plummeting, right? I start dying because like I can't feel my toes. I got like 2 jackets on. It was rough.
So you guys know, little background, down here we run the podcast out of my basement. So my boiler gets real loud if we leave it on, so we got to turn it off during the episodes. So that's why Joe was he was a little cold.
Little? Even your dog went running upstairs, man.
And then you had the letdown that your Eagles didn't even pick in the first round. You waited all the way to the end, last pick, and nothing.
Yeah. All right. But can I really be mad at them? Yes, they traded back. But look at it. Look at the bright side, right? A year later, we got a second round pick.
Yeah.
And the very next day, we get to hop in front of the Cowboys for a tight end, which they need because they just went and plucked Jason Witten for $5 million.
Yeah.
Don't really understand that move, but I love it. We hop in front of the Cowboys to get a tight end named Dallas that they're claiming they weren't interested in. I don't know, man. I think that worked out pretty good for us. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I feel you.
But this year, we're picking in the first round. Don't be doing that to me twice. I can't, man.
Don't play with my emotions like that.
Bro, you sit there for 3 hours waiting for your team to get on the clock, and then you just trade it away. The fan in me, I can't have that 2 years in a row.
Well, you could wait like me. First round, top 10 every year, and expect your team to do something big, and they trade up and they take Sammy Watkins instead of Khalil Mack. Listen, I'm not holding a grudge to that. It's still it's hit me in my heart still.
You just have to let certain things go, Fred.
I gotta be like Elsa, man.
Last year, you guys went and got Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And it looks like that might be a decent pick. I'm not gonna say great pick yet, but it looks like it's gonna be a decent pick. I mean, hopefully this year they keep doing it. Hopefully the player they draft wants to go there and doesn't pull an Antonio Brown and just decides he's not gonna show up.
Or go there and then just, retire at halftime.
I'm telling you,
Either way.
that's it was interesting when I saw your GM have to come out. First time I ever saw this, by the way. Your GM actually came out to defend the Bills' reputation as far as players wanting to go there. Like, he basically came out to say, no, 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 Antonio Brown didn't dead us. He wanted to come, but we just felt it was in our best interest to renege on that trade.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Super nuts. But let's jump into the show, man. UFC news. TJ Dillashaw came
Dirty,
down
dirty.
with dirty. He relinquished his belt for a adverse, and in quotes, adverse test findings in his post-fight or pre-fight sample. Now, with the USADA rules, they don't have to say that you pop dirty until the entire investigation is done. So this was his way of kind of spinning it and saying, well, I want to be fair to the division. It's not fair to me to have an adverse finding and then not have the belt being defended. So a lot of guys came out this week. Henry Cejudo saying he's been clean since day one with both his belts and his gold medal. They brought up the past tape of Cody No Love Garbrandt talking about TJ and how he used to be on all the stuff when he was there at Team Alpha Male and how he used to show everybody how to do it.
I mean, listen, Cody's the video you tagged me in, right? Where he was saying, you taught all of us how to use it. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why they brought that video out. I just wish Cody was still relevant. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Once he got his chin checked, he hasn't been the same fighter.
He's been knocked out 3 times.
That's exactly my point. So maybe
Twice
he
by
can get on
TJ,
something.
and then his last fight where he just stood there and they just went blow for blow. That was
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, it sucks. You never want to see a fighter get popped,
Yeah.
being... I actually... I don't know. I want to know what it is that he got popped for. Because you hear that and people... And I'm not trying to defend him at all. Like, if you're not supposed to take that substance and you get caught on it, you should have to relinquish your belts. But you see, like, the damage that these people take in the ring. And in order for them to come back, sooner to fight, I think a lot of these fighters are taking substances not necessarily to put them at a competitive advantage as far as once they're in the ring, but I definitely think they're on stuff to help their recovery time.
No, I feel you on that. So, with that, we also have a UFC, like we were talking before. It seems like there's a UFC every single weekend now.
ESPN getting that money, bro.
They getting paid. We touched on it last week. We got Wonder Boy Thompson versus Anthony Pettis. Showtime in the main event. Also, Curtis Blades. He's fighting on the card as well. So some pretty decent fights.
Curtis
Not
Blades.
great,
I mean, can we have a cooler name for a UFC fighter?
It's a pretty dope nickname.
Like,
Well,
at
that's
that
his
point,
real name.
you don't even need a nickname.
Yeah. And I believe his nickname is Curtis Razor Blades.
All right, see, we didn't need the razor part. See, now you killed it, bro. Like, I didn't. If I have a cool name like that, bro, I'm not getting a nickname. Just call me by my name.
Like, it's enough right there. It's enough.
It's super intimidating. Like, if you do it any further, now you're beating a dead horse. Like, just leave it alone.
We also had some boxing news this week. We had the announcement of Fury's next fight in June. He'll be fighting out in Vegas. We also got Wilder's next fight in May, I believe. And he'll be fighting in our neck of the woods at the Barclays Center.
Not sure why they're just not fighting each other again, but that's cool.
Yeah. From what I'm hearing, what I'm gathering is that after this next fight with Showtime, Wilder is kind of like he's like a freelancer, even though he is with Showtime. He will get one of either Joshua or Fury. That'll be his next fight. He'll make it work regardless.
So the way I thought it was going to work out was I thought him and Fury were going to lace him up one more time.
Yeah.
And then pending the winner of that fight, move on and fight Joshua.
Yeah. Now, who do you think takes it out of the three?
Damn.
It's a tough one. For me, I would say I like the dude. I think Fury beats them both. I think he beat Wilder last time, and I think he would run circles around Joshua, I think.
Bro, that was a good fight. I would love to see them fight again.
Yeah.
Although I give Wilder a lot of credit because he boxed a lot better than I thought he was going to box in that fight. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd definitely be interested in seeing it again since you're going to go with Fury. I can't side with you, so Wilder. You know, yeah, man. The heavyweight division actually has fighters that people are looking forward to see getting in the ring, which is a nice change of events because I can't even name the last champions before the ones that are current champions.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a while.
Yeah, for me, the last one I remember is Lennox Lewis, and I think the Klitschko's held it for a little bit, but
yeah, they held it down for a little.
That's when everybody was like, "Oh, the heavyweight division, there's UFC going on over here. I'm not paying attention."
Yeah, and the lighter divisions are where most of the pound for pound best fighters are.
Yeah. Speaking of those, you want to give us some news coming down?
Buddy Crawford.
Yeah.
Amir Khan. I think Crawford is going to destroy Amir Khan. I don't even think it's going to be that close of a fight. But I preference this by saying, boxing fans out there, tune in not just for that main event, but there's two fighters that are fighting in the undercard, two of which that I've been trying to get your ass to watch.
Yeah.
And you won't watch, but I'm hoping you do this time. Shakur Stevenson from Newark. I saw him fight. I don't even remember who he fought, dude. I just remember him whipping his ass. And it was awesome because like a lot of people, it was one of his early fights, and a lot of people weren't sure because of his age if he should even be a professional because he's fighting grown men.
Right.
And a lot of them had questions on whether he was going to be able to handle, you know, that step up in just grown men's strength, you know, people that have been in the boxing ring for, you know, longer than he's been around, basically. And he went into the ring and he just demolished the dude. So ever since I saw that, and he seems like a real cool, humble dude. Like I was watching his press conference after the fight, and he just seemed, you know, very thankful for the opportunity and everything like that. So he looks like a good kid, and the dude is an absolute dynamite fighter.
Right. So those are some of the boxing things coming down the pipe. It's an exciting time for boxing. They're giving UFC some comp back, but the thing that just irks me about boxing is the corruption. Like I don't even want to say so much corruption.
You got it, bro. It's the judges.
Yeah.
The judges are what screws up boxing. Like I love watching boxing. When there's a big, and don't get it twisted, if a good UFC fight is on, I'm gonna watch it, right? But I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it's because I grew up and grew up watching boxing, that if there's a huge boxing fight on, like if Spence and Crawford were to lace them up,
right,
I don't care who's fighting on the UFC that night. I don't care. I'm going to watch that boxing fight. The only thing that kills it, like you said, is if you can have a 12-round, you know, slugfest Uh, but everyone and their mother can say or see that a certain fighter won, and the judge is just completely going in opposite direction. It's deflating. It takes all of the fun out of it because you're not, and you, I mean the fans, me, you that are watching the fight. Of course, we're not experts, but we're also not idiots. Like we can see who's getting their ass beat if it's that one-sided.
Right.
And
It
you,
was like
I've seen
it was like the Pacquiao fight. Remember when he fought down in what was it in Australia?
when it was Horn.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude was like a substitute teacher. I mean, don't get me wrong, the story was cool, but Pacquiao won that fight.
Yeah, hands down. I remember watching the post fight with Teddy Atlas, and he was losing his shit on the air about how boxing was corrupt and how these judges suck and all that stuff. So when you got one of your greats in the sport putting you guys on blast and you still don't change anything, it sucks.
Yeah, I think Stephen A. Smith was out there wilding too, you know, being his extra self.
Exactly.
I love it, but
he be wilding sometimes. We get him on New York radio over here, and he be wilding out sometimes. It's crazy.
yeah.
But let's transition over to MLB. We had some contract extensions. I'll give you the two lower ones before we get into the big boy.
I'm trying to talk about that big contract. I think it was $35,000 a day, something like that, for the next 13 years. I digress. I'm sorry. I apologize. Got excited. Continue.
We got Verlander. He signed a 2-year deal, and we also had Sale get an extension. So those two guys are locked up for a couple years with their respective teams. And then we had the big boy from Jersey, $430 million for 12 years.
He's going to buy the Eagles. Just saying.
He's going to buy the Weather Channel. He's a huge weather freak.
Well, hopefully he can get a weatherman that knows how to tell the right weather, because I'm tired of living in New York, and they say it's going to snow 2 inches and we get 16 feet. And then we're supposed to get 16 feet and we get 2 inches. If I knew that a weatherman could be wrong 75% of the time, that's what I would have went to college for.
Yeah, man. And you still get paid. You can get your entire job wrong, and they're still going to cut you a check at the end of the day.
Must be nice, man.
It's crazy, man. So we got opening day. Well, we had 2 games this week.
Wait. You're not gonna. How much money was it? I'm saying I want to hear it again. I still can't believe he signed for that much.
$430 million. They broke it down. He makes, I believe it's $98,000 an hour.
An hour?
An hour.
During a game.
I believe it's probably during a game.
I'm about to say.
But Bleacher Report kind of put a breakdown on it, and it was like $98,000 an hour, 200 and something $1,000 a game. It's astronomical amounts that he's getting.
I love when they break those down, because me, you, like everybody else, we can't even like, you hear $450 million and you're like, oh crap, that's a lot of money. Yeah. Duh. But you can't mentally wrap your head around how much money that is.
It's true, man.
And so they break it down into sums that like are tangible for us. You know what I'm saying? Like if you tell me 95 grand an hour, I'm freaking gonna drop down and have a heart attack on this chair. You know? So when they put it like that, or the best is when they put it when they're sleeping. They'll be like, oh, if he, 8 hours of sleep a night, he's gonna wake up and there's gonna be an extra whatever, 200, 300 grand in his. I'm like, damn, this dude makes more money in his sleep than I'm gonna make in the next 10 years. It's really depressing.
It's insane, man. The amount of money that he's getting. And then you think of like really good players who still haven't gotten their huge deals. You're like, damn, Trout's getting that money. What's Judge gonna get if he continues on his progression?
Listen, and Judge he's a phenomenal player. Sorry. My ADD got caught in. It looks like North Carolina's starting to put the pedal to the metal here. Anyway, so here's my thing with Mike Trout and in baseball in general, right? Mm-hmm. Mike Trout and his contract situation is a complete Anomaly. There we
Yeah.
go. I got that word out
That
correctly.
works. Yeah.
It's late at night. I'm allowed one slippage. Dude, in baseball, you know that they're gonna try and control that player's rights until they can't anymore. Same reason why they don't call certain players up. If you want to look at it, look at Judge. Judge is considered, statistically the best outfielder in the game right now,
Right.
or if not 1A, and he's getting paid $600,000. The Yankees aren't gonna give him unless he. Trout is so damn good that the Angels were scared for him to get to free agency.
Yeah.
There's very few players in the league that can scare a team that much.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. And the crazy part about it is this is all guaranteed money. He's getting every penny of that $430 million.
Less. Only in America.
Just ask Bobby Bonilla, because he's still collecting all his money every July 4th or something like that, July something. He's getting $1.5 million. That's nice.
He's got the extra fireworks out that day.
Yeah. We got the tourney going on. It's pretty big. Well, before we get into the tournament, because that's going to be a big chunk of tonight's episode. NBA.
Big chunk, bro. How much time you got? What you mean, big chunk?
We got NBA
so you just
news.
Trying to sleep.
No. We got NBA news. We got the playoff preview coming on. We're still about maybe 2 weeks out from the end of the season.
Yeah, it's got to be around there.
Yeah. We got the usual suspects still up top and kind of holding their thing down. Surprise for me is seeing the Nuggets. They're the 2 seed right now out west.
Yeah. Game back?
Yeah.
As of this morning, they were a half game back.
Half game back. So that's pretty
good
for them.
Yes and no. Yes, because all right, so we don't get to see a lot of their games.
Right.
They're on the West Coast. But if you look at the team that they were able to build, they have some baller. Jamal Murray, baller. The Joker, baller. I'm forgetting Gary Harris, baller. You know what I'm saying? Like they've got some good basketball players. And shout out to their developmental team over there, because they're taking players and making them really solid contributors. I remember earlier on in the year I was watching a game, and Malik Beasley, who I remember watching him at Florida State. He was starting or 6-man off the bench. I want to say starting in the game I was watching. And the dude came out and he hung about 25 up. And that just goes to show you that they're drafting players, developing them the right way. And they're doing a great job over there. It's nice to see a team that doesn't necessarily have, a quote-unquote top 5 player in the league. Even though if you ask centers in the league, they're going to tell you Joker is up there.
He's legit, yeah.
He's a walking triple-double now. Like, he can ball.
Yeah. And then we've been having some pretty crazy games down the stretch with Philly and the Celtics. And Milwaukee in there as well. Those 3 have been banging around with each other these past couple of weeks. And I'm excited to see a 7-game series between all 3 of them.
I would like that very much, because last time I saw the Bucks play the Sixers, I saw Giannis posting up Ben Simmons, got him on the block, yammed it on him, and then was screaming to the crowd, "This is like my effing house. He's an effing baby." I was like, "Okay, Giannis, you talk that talk, boy." And then Marcus Smart is always good for one crazy physical game per week. I feel like at least once a week he has a game where like he's just one of those guys. I wouldn't test his gangster. Like he seems like he's about it.
He's about it, yeah.
Like I don't know if you saw the shove to Joel Embiid.
Oh yeah, he was about that life. He was ready to go.
Well, he put his life into that. He was not about to get punked by Joel Embiid, and you know what? Credit to him. He at least he moved the big man down, and then Joel Embiid got up. I don't know. He got up hype. I don't really think he was going to do anything.
He wasn't going to do nothing.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do anything. Speaking of NBA, before you move on, you seen Harden tonight?
No, what he do tonight?
Bro, he had 61 against San Antonio.
Damn. Against Pop San Antonio.
Bro, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I read it earlier. He outscored them by himself in the first quarter. I think he had like 27 in the first. And the Spurs ended the first quarter with 24. So, yeah, he was balling.
Yeah.
Fear the Beard was in full effect.
That's one of those nights where the rim looks like a hula hoop, and anything you throw up is going in.
Like, if I was playing on the Spurs, if I was playing on any team, and some dude was just killing me like that, I'm picking up a technical.
Yeah.
Get me out the game. I'm not trying to guard this dude anymore. He got 61 on me.
I'm going to trip him. Whatever it takes.
You thought, you know how they was trying to get at that Syracuse player for tripping Zion Williamson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I make that look like nothing. If someone was having 61 on me like that, bro, I'm laying my whole life on the line to trip them. Like it's going to be obvious as hell. I'm going to pull a Grayson Allen.
There you go.
I'm going to pull a Grayson Allen.
It'd be like World Cup status with you out there. So we also got some news. Lonzo Ball is getting rid of one of his partners in the Triple B. One of his fathers. No, not his dad. Unfortunately, one of the family partners in Triple B, because he can't attest for $1.5 million in the family business.
Bro, he can attest to it being in an offshore bank account right now somewhere, ready for him to cash on out.
I'm like, how do you lose 1.5?
Bro, I'm stressed if I lose $20.
Is that why all the Lonzo shoes are late? Like they're not getting paid on time? Like I know that was a big issue early on with the shoes where you ordered them in
it was taking months.
June, and you weren't getting them till March, and then the quality on them were horrible.
Yeah, I'm not trying to knock no one's hustle, man. Get it while you can, but those shoes are ugly, bro.
Yeah, man.
I ain't hooping in those at all.
Yeah. And then we also got D'Angelo Russell out in Brooklyn, where I believe the game is still going on. But if the Nets win tonight, they officially knock out the Lakers from playoff contention.
Sweet revenge for my boy D-Russ, man.
Yeah, man.
Listen.
I feel like that's what the Lakers are missing right now. They're missing a point guard like him.
I've been watching him all year because, you know, I got two local channels, right? There's the Fox Sports and there's MSG. Yeah. Knicks playing on MSG. I ain't watching that. Although Dennis Smith Jr. is, when we're talking about point guards, is a fun point guard to watch. Ntilikina, if I wanted to watch that type of basketball, I could go to the local YMCA and watch old men that can't shoot. I don't need to see a young kid from France. I can't. Yeah, yo, he's been balling on Fox Sports. I rewatched some of the games in the morning, and like while I'm getting ready for work, I put it on, and dude, he's cooking.
It's crazy, man. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, he's cooking.
Now, what's your take on on that whole situation? Like, we've both been in locker rooms. We both played ball growing up. You still play right now, little semi-pro ball as well. But what's your take on that?
About what he did to Nick Young?
Yeah.
That's the bro code, man. You can't do that. You can't do that, Fred. That's no bueno.
Yeah.
Nah,
but
man.
Do you think that kills the whole vibe in the locker room between everybody?
I mean, yeah, no, like, no disrespect to Nick Young, but it's not like he did it to Kobe. Now, I get it. I get that, you know, well, if he did it to Nick Young, he could do it to whoever. But I don't know, man. Who knows? He might have not developed as a player the way he's developing in Brooklyn, because Brooklyn basically, there's there was no pressure when he got here, right?
Yeah.
You know, like they just handed him the keys and they were like, dude, we're riding with you and take us wherever you can take us. And he's turning out to be one hell of a player, contract year, so he's about to get paid. Not Mike Trout paid, but paid. Yeah, so he's about to get his money. I'm happy to see him progress and become the player that he's becoming because he's a problem, man. And I don't know if he would have became that with the Lakers, but I know they're kicking themselves in the ass for letting him go. Because if you look at some of the people they've let go, I mean, obviously they were able to recruit and get LeBron James, so it's all water under the bridge. But Julius Randle is another dude that I thought they probably should have kept around. They let him go to the Pelicans, and he's been balling. So
yeah. And like you were saying, that Laker jersey gets heavy, man. There's a lot of pressure in that jersey.
Listen, you don't even got to take my word for it, bro. They recruited the best player in the world to go there, right?
Yeah.
Before this Lakers year, he was a great teammate, right?
Mm-hmm.
He really cared about every team he was on, right? Proven winner. Bro, all that's out the window with some people now. They're acting like they've never seen LeBron outside of a Lakers uniform.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. We got experience seeing that because we live in New York, and we know what the Yankee jersey does to people when they come here. You either can rock with it or you can't. Sonny Gray came in. He was supposed to be a really good pitcher, and he sucked ass playing for the Yankees.
I've seen. Okay, so to me though, the two situations, it just blows my mind, right? Because Sonny Gray didn't perform well, so he got that backlash, right?
Right.
Go look at LeBron's numbers. And again, I'm not here to be, a LeBron apologist.
Yeah.
I think they were going to make the playoffs as like an 8th seed at the beginning of the year.
We both thought that. Yep.
They looked like they were well on their way. I think obviously a couple things derailed them with the trade rumors. I think that screwed up all the young kids that are there. Obviously the LeBron injury was big. And so, and now it's to the point where like a lot of those young players feel, or at least know, that they're not in the future plans. So that's got to have an effect on them.
Yeah, it's true, man. But the tournament, man. We got Carolina and Iona going right now. Carolina they're putting the foot down, 63-49 right now with 9:48.
Yo, man, and that point guard, oh, shoot, I can't remember his name right now. The dude that's about to shoot this. Oh, there we go, Kobe. I was going to call him. You know what I was going to call him? There was a guard in football that had, I think Kobe Whitehair was his name. I think he played in Indiana. I don't know why I'm thinking of it, but I always get him and this other dude that used to play football's name mixed up. He's fast as hell, that point guard from North Carolina. And with all that hair, I bet you if he got like a nice little fade, he'd be just as fast as De'Aaron Fox. I'm telling you, that has to hold him up, dude.
Yeah, that's gotta. Like I swam back in the day, and you need to be streamlined.
Yeah,
maybe he needs a little something, maybe a headband or something.
I thought, man, Iona came out in the first. Oh, they just got a steal. Okay. McGill just laid it up. Shout out Rockland. Yeah, man, I thought Iona had a chance in the beginning. Well, I kind of figured North Carolina would end up winning the game, but Iona held strong. McGill had a big first half, but, cream rises to the top. This is how it's supposed to be, except if you're Virginia. Virginia gets a 1 seed, and they like to make it interesting every year. They lose last year. They were down by like 15 this year. They ended up turning it up and going on like a 30-2 run to end the game. But they were down by as many. I think it was 16 in the first half.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. And then we got our little bracket going. We haven't decided on the wager yet.
No, not wait, whoa.
Did we decide on the wager?
No, wait. If you would have told...
Oh, do we not have a wager on this one now all of a sudden?
You about to put a wager on it after the brackets have been submitted? I told you...
We talked about this last week. I'll bring up the tape.
Yeah, bring up the tape then, because you're a liar.
I ain't scared.
You're a liar, bro. You know damn well when I submitted that bracket, I said this is what I want to happen, not what I can't be riding with everybody else picking Duke. Everyone in their mother's pick. Bro, your bracket is literally the 1 and the 2 and the 1 and the 2 and then the 1 and the 1 meet in the finals. Where's the fun in that?
Not every part, because I'm beating you in some of these aspects, so don't cry right now, because your bracket's not looking as good as mine.
I ain't paying you nada, because you never mentioned an iota about no wager. You want to do a clean bracket for the field of 32? I'll smoke you real quick.
We'll figure it out. We'll let you guys know what's going on over here. But what's some of your takeaways from the first 2 days, Joe?
So the 1 seeds are obviously doing what they're supposed to be doing, taking care of business, like we said. I watched. So I'm gonna do a little plug right here. My TSJ article for the game that I was most interested in, that you can read up on their website, was Murray State Marquette, because I know a lot of people now are starting to understand just how good Ja Morant is. But more than just him, they actually have a really good team around him. The kid Shaq Buchanan, I think his name was the Defensive Player of the Year in the Ohio Valley Conference. And he's a guard, and he had a big impact on the game. They got a big man. I don't remember his name, but he can see the court well. So they're more than just Ja, but he went out there against the Big East team, against Big East Player of the Year in Marcus Howard, and effortless triple-double. You know, like it doesn't even look like he's trying. You know what I'm saying? He almost, not that he plays like him, but he kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know, like, you know how when you used to watch T-Mac? And then almost like he wasn't even trying. He was just that damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Again, totally different game. Like, he takes stupid long strides. He doesn't even look like he's, like, running fast. And then they try and double team him, and he sits there and does an in and out behind the back between the legs and splits it. And then throws, like, a no-look pass with his offhand, which is hard enough. And he bullets it between 2 people, gives a crew cut to the center with the pass, and then this big man catches it and lays it in. I'm like, this kid is ridiculous, bro. He's ridiculous. Whoever gets him is going to get a franchise point guard for the next 12 years.
Now, he's going to go top 3, basically.
No, he's going top 2.
You think he's going to go in front of Cam?
Cam who, Reddish?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. He's going in front of Cam Reddish.
I've seen a lot of mocks where he's what, 3 maybe?
Fred, look into my eyes. I'm the captain now. Right? Hear me out.
I got you.
Cam Reddish is not going in front of Ja Morant.
Mm-hmm.
RJ Barrett ain't going in front of Ja Morant.
Sorry, I meant not Cam Reddish. I meant RJ Barrett. Not Cam.
All right, I'll save you the trouble. The only player that's going before him in the draft, Ncaa. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no way around.
Yeah. So we've had some upsets. We got UC Irvine, Liberty, Watford.
Yo, listen.
Oregon.
Kentucky without P.J. Washington, because not mistaken, he's out. He was in a boot last I checked. They're gonna have their hands full with that Wofford team.
Yeah,
that Wofford
could be.
team,
Could they be this year's Cinderella? They can get into 32, maybe. Well, no, they're already into 32. Maybe into.
The only thing that makes this team a Cinderella to me is that they weren't playing in like a major conference. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you watch them play, bro, they do not play like one of those Cinderella teams that just got hot. Like I think they finished 2nd in the country in 3-point field goal percentage. And yes, is there more athletic teams in them? Of course. A lot of these, blue blood teams, you got the North Carolinas, you got the Dukes, the Kentuckys, they're going to have that athletic advantage over them. Mm-hmm. But, bro, that 3-point shot is the great equalizer. And there isn't a team in the tournament that's going to be able to outshoot that Wofford team. They got that McGee. McGee just went out. He's the new record holder for the most threes in Division I history,
Right.
which is pretty big. He hit 7 of them. And if you watch this dude shoot, bro, all right, people will say, "Oh, yo, that guy's a shooter. Oh no, that guy could shoot." No, go watch this kid McGee play, and you will see what a real shooter is. Like, I'm talking about, this dude pulls up going from his left. He pulls up going from his right. He can pull up, off the dribble. He fade away. It doesn't matter. You give him an inch of space, bro, his release is super quick. He had a 3 in front of his bench towards the end of the game, dude, where it was sort of like he was running off a flare screen, but instead of sprinting to the side, he kind of faked like he was in an in cut, then started backpedaling, turned towards the ball, reset his feet, and then twisted in the air while he was shooting the ball. The shot was a terrible shot for 99.9% of the people in college basketball. Like, they have no shot of making it.
Right.
Bro, he hit the bottom of the net. Like, you could tell he just practices shots like that. And he is I haven't seen a shooter like him in college and all year. That dude can let it rip. And it's not just him. They got two other guards that can really shoot the ball too. So I'm interested to see how they play against Kentucky.
We've got the field of 32 coming down tomorrow, right? We're coming from 64 down to 32.
That would be half of 64.
Yeah,
so, yes.
Right there. Yeah, so my math is on point tonight. So, but let's get into it, man. There's no off season for us.
Are we doing some football real quick?
Yeah, man.
All right, let's do some football real quick.
It's what we love.
IV bag, please.
Yeah, on full. We had some pro days this week. Before we get into the pro days, I don't know if you guys have seen the picture floating around of Joe Thomas, former offensive lineman.
Slender Thomas to you, bro.
Super slender.
Yup.
He looks like he just unzipped his fat suit and walked out.
Yup.
It's insane. I couldn't believe the photo when I first saw it.
There's a lot of offensive linemen. Who's the dude that works on NFL? Is it Sean O'Hara that works on NFL Network?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you look at him now compared to his playing days when they show flashbacks, it's amazing the weight that these offensive linemen carry at a necessity for that sport. But once they retire and they can live like regular human beings, it's amazing how much they lose.
They go back to being athletes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being in shape and being dedicated
I would say
to it.
they're definitely still athletes on the offensive line. It's just they become more by definition of what you would perceive an athlete to be.
Right.
Ripped and all of the crap.
Yeah. And then we had Robert Kraft. His whole thing is still going off. They said that the county of Florida, or whatever county, the state of Florida and whatever county he's in down there, they said that they will drop the charges if he will admit to being found guilty if they would have gone to trial.
He's still with that Shaggy plea.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't him. It was not him.
When you called me on camera, nah, man.
Wasn't him.
Not me. I was with Tommy Boy. I wasn't down here doing a rub and tug. Nah, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. If I was him, I would just want this to just get swept under the rug as fast as possible. Be like, yep, it was me. All right, let's keep moving here. Clean it up. Because I'm not trying to fight this. I do not want it. First of all, if he keeps pushing this, TMZ or somebody with deep pockets about to pay for this video, and I am not trying to see 900-year-old Yoda with his schlong out.
You don't want to see somebody pick up the Robert Kraft sex tape? You're not trying to get that exclusive? No?
Listen, I don't want. There ain't nothing exclusive about that, man. Listen, I don't want no parts of that. Please save that man's. No, No, you got kids, you got grandkids, you can't be doing
We also got Julio Jones. He's coming down with his extension. I don't have the exact numbers, but
It's approaching 100 mil,
yeah, Julio's gonna
but
get paid.
don't matter. I want to see the guaranteed. Cool, you getting
That's
100 mil. How much is
that's what
guaranteed?
matters in the NFL. It's the guaranteed money because your contract might be 125 mil, but you got 35 mil guaranteed, and that's all you get.
Now, you know what this means, right? There's a certain wide receiver that now resides in Cleveland. Probably going to want more money now. He's looking around the league. Odell Beckham is looking around the league. Antonio Brown getting paid. Julio Jones getting paid. Odell Beckham might walk up to Dorsey and be like, "Listen, man, you got me here now. Show me some more money."
I still can't believe that trade, man. If I was a Giants fan, I would still be really pissed off about that. But we got into that last week, so. But speaking of the Giants, let's get your take on is it Gettleman, the GM?
In his Boston accent.
This is the same guy that didn't want to extend the best corner in the league at the time, Josh Norman,
Mm-hmm.
and
You
let
know
him
who?
walk.
You know who else feels a certain type of way about him too? If you listen to him talk, is Steve Smith.
Yep, that's true. And
Yeah.
was it? I believe D'Angelo Williams as well. He felt a type of way about him when he left Carolina.
Yep. Yeah. Doesn't bode well for him when it comes to his player relationships. But yeah, man, they're not in love with Haskins. Then the next day it's reported that they are in love with Haskins. Again, I don't know what they're waiting for. Like, at some point, you have to take a quarterback and have people in place that can develop him into whatever you see fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, they're waiting for, bro, if we worked, me and you, right, as GMs in football, in the NFL,
Right.
we could do what Gettleman's trying to do, which is find a ready-made quarterback, right? He's waiting for the Andrew Luck to come out. He's waiting for the Peyton Manning to come out.
Right.
Bro, that is not what you get paid a lot of money for. You understand what I'm saying? Like, me and you could do that. We could wait until the best quarterback we've ever seen comes out and be like, yo, how can we screw this kid up? Let's just take him.
This kid looks good. Come on.
Yeah, and it boggles my mind because he has to know that general managers, I mean, they change them like we change our drawers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
2 to 3 years. So cool, bro. Let you wait and build a team and get the Saquon Barkley. And if this year you go and get the stud defensive lineman, all that stuff is cool. You know who's going to enjoy that stuff, Fred? The new GM.
Yeah.
The new GM going to slide right in there, take all the little pieces you gave him, new toys you gave him, and he's going to go, all right, guys, now I'm going to go get the quarterback.
Yeah.
And we
he's
had
going to
this,
reap everything from it.
Yeah, and we had this on the podcast a couple of months ago when, like, all these mock drafts were coming out, and, you know, quarterback might not go until, you know, the 15th overall pick. And I looked at you and I said, Fred, every year, whether it's the year of the quarterback or not, I told you that I think 3 are going to go in the top 10. I still believe that.
Yeah.
There's going to be a team, right? There's going to be a team. Okay, if Murray goes 1, the phone's going to be. But the only team that I know for sure is going to stick at is I think the Jets. I don't think the Jets move.
Yeah, I could see them staying put at 3.
The only reason I see them staying put is because I cannot see them trying to make a trade with the Giants to hand over, you know, a franchise quarterback to them.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. Otherwise, I would say you never know. I think the 49ers are open for business. I think for all those Giants fans that are like, yeah, we're just going to stay pack at 6, you're not. If you get the quarterback, your ass is going to have to move up. Yeah. And you know how it is. It's a supply and demand after that, right? So Murray and Haskins are going to go 1 and 2.
Yeah.
there's gonna be a QB needy team like the Broncos, like the Dolphins, who maneuver their way up and convince themselves that maybe Drew Lock or now that the Greer kid out of West Virginia had an amazing pro day. There's or Jones from Duke. There's gonna be other quarterbacks that rise up in the draft just because they're quarterbacks.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with the draft, man. I'm telling you right now, if the quarterbacks don't go 1 and 2, I'll be shocked. Shocked.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. You guys will get our live reactions as we're watching it down here.
I hope the Bills blow the pick so I can get this. Oh, I just want to see your face. I wish we had this podcast when they took Sammy Watkins. I really do.
I was so pissed that night because all I'd been talking about was Khalil Mack and how a Buffalo kid coming out of BU. I was like, perfect. It's a no-brainer. Put the card in right now. Khalil Mack is done. And you take Sammy freaking Watkins.
Yeah. We'll see what they do this year, man. Okay. I'm excited, though. So, yeah, we got the pro days. Pro days should be wrapping up. Second tier free agency should be over within the next couple of weeks. Still got some impact players out there. This is normally the time where, like, the Bill Belichick's of the world go and make a move that nobody blinks an eye on. Yeah. And then during the season, they're like, oh, crap! No one knew that this kid was going to make such a big impact.
We still got Eric Berry out there. Where do you think he winds up? I've heard he was on a visit with Dallas.
That's what I was thinking, only because I know they were in on Earl Thomas, got a little too rich for their blood. I don't know, man. I don't want to see. Here's my problem, right? Is like obviously with what he went through. Huge fan of how he was able to persevere through all that, but then he puts on that Dallas uniform, and I don't know if I can accept that.
You gotta immediately hate him after that, right?
Like immediately, like off the field, I still got love for him, but on the field, I hope he doesn't get another pick for the rest of his career.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do that.
And then we had Justin Houston.
Yep.
He signed was it 2-3 year deal with the Colts?
I think it's 2 years, $24 million guaranteed. If I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. I mean, it's about time. Listen, the Colts got money, and I know they're concerned about saving it so that they can spend it on their own. Mm-hmm. But it's such a like a balancing act. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to ride that line of being aggressive in free agency, but not too aggressive. I think the Justin Houston pickup with them was good. I would have liked to see them in on a couple other big names. I know they pulled out of the D Ford sweepstakes once that got a little too rich. I don't like the Funches signing.
Yeah.
I know it was just 1 year, but I feel like 14 mil for him. Maybe now that he's with. The only thing I can think of is maybe now that he's with Luck, he kind of has a year similar to like when Ebron came over.
Right, and he kind of had a little bit of a breakout.
Yeah, and he started really balling this year, and no disrespect to Stafford, but Andrew Luck is top tier when his shoulder's right, so maybe he can get the best out of him. But I was hoping they went after someone else to pair alongside T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah. And before we wrap it up, there was some news that ESPN is pushing very hard to try to get Peyton Manning into the Monday Night Football booth. I personally think that would be amazing. I love listening to Peyton's, breakdowns that he has on ESPN Plus. Shout out to them, and that I believe.
Don't shout them out yet until they give us a free subscription. What's wrong with you?
I believe it's the Details show that they have, and they have the same thing with Kobe in the NBA. Those shows are amazing. The way he breaks down film is great.
And you know what? Shout out to Payne, because while he was playing, he kept it really like strapped to the vest, like really tight. Nobody really knew that he had that. Like I didn't know he had that personality. I'm sure his teammates did.
Yeah.
Like with the public, he was just very, cut and dry. But once he retired, he started doing those commercials. Yo, he has me rolling on some of those commercials. So it's cool to see that he has that, that personality.
Yeah, you had it back in the day. I think he did 1 or 2 episodes of Saturday Night Live where you were like, oh, damn, Peyton's kind of funny, man. Like, I wonder what it's like. And then you had that Pro Bowl video come out. I don't know if you saw it, where the Gatorade guy's coming around. He gives Peyton Gatorade. He loosens up the top and then tells the camera guy, pan over. And it's Wes Welker right there. Goes to spray it, and it's just water all down. And Peyton's just rolling.
That's
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah, man. If you guys get a chance to check that video out. But, man, that's it. That's it for us.
That's it, bro. I've been on this thing for like hours.
We thank you guys for listening. www.thesportsfrenzypodcast.com. Right down here in the right side of the video, subscribe. Let us know what you guys think. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Find us on all our social media platforms. Joey on his TSJ outlet. He's got some great articles out there. I'm not just saying because he's my boy.
You're so kind.
It's very insightful. So
you're gonna make me blush.
You're such an ass. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.